Good job. Okay. Yeah, I'm mostly going to focus on Q&A tonight, I think. It's, questions and things. I'm not sure, because some of you, like I said, a few of you have never been in here before, but you know me. I met you last night. You made it. That's cool. Who else was? This is their first time. You're a virgin. One back there. We got one virgin sacrifice back there. Welcome. Okay, there's a few. So we'll try to be bridging between those of you that have already experienced the technology and those of you that haven't. But I have, like I was saying before, I have taught holistic health for more than 45 years. She didn't go into my background as much. People, I've worked with the top secret government scientists my entire life. So, I have the Stanford or Harvard or whatever physicists go, how did you create something nobody's been able to do? Yeah. I just want to heal the world. That's all it is. That's all it is. But I grew up. My mother was a nuclear physicist working on the bomb. Whole time she was pregnant with me. Fissioning plutonium in the lab, and I remember it vividly. My parents met in engineering physics. Both of them top secret government scientists, hyper genius. Met in engineering physics at Ohio State. I see everything as engineering physics. It's just kind of who I am. So they got together, and my dad being electrical, mechanical, structural engineer, my mother the physicist. And so she was working on the bomb, and my dad did stealth bombers. And I came in and go, how do we heal all of this? How do we bring healing to the world? Wait a minute, I made a wrong turn, God. These people are crazy, let me out of here. And my mother wasn't so thrilled about me either. Because back in the day, she was literally working on the bomb, fissioning plutonium, Battelle Labs, and so it was, but her mother, well, where did two nerdy scientists go for their honeymoon from Ohio? Think about this. In 1952. Where did two nerds from Ohio go for their honeymoon, and that are both engineering physicists, right?
The Smithsonian Institute.
No, they went to Tesla's power plant, Niagara Falls. I came in on that rush of energy, okay? And my mother, no, you can't make this stuff up, really. And my mother's mother, here we have two genius scientists, right? My mother's mother told her if she douched on her wedding night, she wouldn't get pregnant. And somehow that was my fault. Oops. So then it became all my fault that she wasn't this great research scientist, right? Because she could only, she had to quit when she had me. But, So anyway, people wonder how I created what I created, but I did all of Tesla's experiments as a kid. I grew up doing all of them. Because I was doing all the top secret science experiments. I thought everybody's favorite toys were my favorite toys. It was Geiger counters and gyroscopes. Did you have collections of them? And then instead of dolls, I had the Visible Man and Visible Woman. Anybody ever see those? Yeah, where you have where all the organs go and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it was a little different. I was reading encyclopedias cover to cover by third grade, you know, Mensa, thank you very much. But that was a gift. But it was very challenging, because my whole thing then is, how do we heal the world? So I started in chiropractic, reflexology, nutrition, Ayurveda, 1971, all those kinds of things, and studied radionics and in fact, earlier today, they put me on with the guy that I studied radionics with, a guy named Paul Esch, in the 70s. Studied radionics, photonics, Rife, any and every healing modality, I studied it, because that's what I wanted. Any and every healing modality. So, and I built my first scalar healing light chamber in 1978. In my spa. I had my own spa. It was the third spa in the country to have salt glows, herbal wraps, pressure facials, all organic, a juice bar. I'm a visionary. I was a little ahead of my time. And I built my first scalar healing light chamber. I had been running a power management equipment company and spas, and teaching nutrition, and you know, I've been helping people reverse cancer more than 45 years. So, you know, my life is all about how do we bring healing to the world, and really researching and studying every aspect of that. So my first scalar healing light chamber, I was running a power management equipment company. I had equipment from that. I did all kinds of experiments. I had material from NASA, and the perfect geometry and special lights. I studied John Ott's work. Anybody ever hear of John Ott? Yeah, the power of light, the science of light. So I'd studied that. I had special lights. I set up my first full scalar healing light chamber in 1978. Saw anything and everything heal. The power that made the body heals the body. Straight chiropractic. I started in chiropractic, started training in that in 1971. Power that made the body heals the body. Body's a circuitry. All the nerves go through. I see everything as engineering and physics, and the body as a circuitry. Everything's electrical, mechanical, structural, engineering, and consciousness and energy, physics. You know, we are literally bodies and beings of light. So anyway, so I had my first scalar healing light chamber. Anything and everything would heal. You know, but it was one person at a time. You'd go into it, stand in it, and it developed the vitamin D on the skin, because I knew that was really, really important. It was probably the world's first tanning booth. But saw total reversals of leukemias and lupus and cancers. Yeah, that got taken, got stolen by the Italian mafia, locked me out. Yeah, back in the day. Back to the drawing board. You couldn't heal the world one person at a time anyway. So, you know, so people go, how did you develop this? Well, I understand all those physics. It's like, you know, I couldn't imagine not understanding the physics of the quantum physics and consciousness and healing. But so how is that important for now? So I started this project with the technology. You remember me starting, I had the pyramid set up on the Big Island. I started programming the computers to emulate the work, and I had the crystals. But I'm really a hands-on healer.
Definitely floating on the body, like just moving, like not even there, pretty much.
Yeah, the body as light. So it really all goes back to, you know, and as a kahuna, I was recognized that at the time of crises on the planet, it's aloha that heals the world. So what's aloha? Why is that? It's so important. It's the most powerful word in the universe to a kahuna, because it means oneness with that sacred breath of eternal life, the energy and the power that interconnects all things and animates our hearts, and then fills us with the love that we share. And I taught this dance of aloha, means oneness with the breath and the perfection of the love of all life. But you notice this movement? You're breathing in all the power, all the light, all the love. That's what you're doing in here. What if you could breathe in all the energy you could possibly want or need, all of God's love right into your heart. And let a little bit more in, because you're going to expand all your capacities for love, open up the heart more. How much love do you want? Go for it. So the exhale can be a total relaxation. It's aloha, right? If you don't go for the expansion, the exhale is never a total relaxation or a total letting go. If you're subventilating, you're using the muscles on the inhale and the exhale. So it's all in your breath, and that's the big secret from the mystery schools. It's the big secret, is aloha, that oneness with the breath and the perfection of the love of all life. And our greatness is in the allowance of that power and light and love to flow through us freely and let that work. But you notice this dance? Breathing all the power and this overwhelming love that flows out infinitely to touch the hearts of all beings to feel more loved. And there's nothing to hold on to in that flow. And the joy is in that flow. But this is called the dance of creation, or the dance of the DNA. Everybody following? Everybody okay? Okay. You know this one. You heard me teach it. So this movement then allows a spiraling into the double helix of the DNA itself to release anything that is not of core essence. The core of your DNA is literally the light from the stars, the stuff from the stars. We are stardust, we are starlight. It's like here in Hawaii, the chants of origin refer back to the stars, right? They knew who it wasn't that they worshiped their ancestors, they knew where they were from. We are starlight beings, and we literally are bodies and beings of light. You know, now I can go into all the physics with John Ott touched on this, but Fritz Albert Popp, maybe some of you have heard of Fritz Albert Popp. I should have told you to bring, I give you homework. I'm a professor. I've lectured at medical schools and ministries of health all over the world, so I give people homework a lot. Fritz Albert Popp's work, what he proved that the prime function of DNA is the storage of photons. What are photons? Photons are your quantums of light. So I'm giving you some of the foundation of understanding that at the time of crisis on the planet, it's aloha that heals the world. We now have more than 500 centers in 60-some countries with miracles happening 24/7 all over the world. Pretty cool. And it's not one-on-one, it's not practitioner dependent, it's not operator dependent, it's not one person at a time, because how are we going to heal the world one person at a time? Okay, after my first one, I went back and I said, okay, God, now what do we do? What do we do? How do we bring healing to the world? This was an instruction, a download, programming the computers to emulate my work. I was recognized as one of the top healers on the planet. Anything and everything would heal. And it's from this dance of creation, or the dance of your DNA. Yeah, this is a big secret from the mystery schools. It's all in your breath. So that's how you use this technology, but it's really the same principle. Phase conjugate wave pairs is the energy coming together. Okay, I'm holding microphone, imagine this arm too, okay? Energy coming together creates an implosion and a release of charge that can flow out infinitely. It's, the energy, that's phase conjugate wave pairs. Okay, now I've lost you, but Nope, everybody's good. Phase conjugate wave pairs. It's like, you know, and this is pure science. This is the pure physics of it. But I'm blonde, so I'm known as the one. When I lectured at MIT, they looked at me. There was only one other blonde that spoke, and she was Olga from, you know, talking about research protocols. But I spoke for the cold fusion colloquium at MIT, and everybody's looking at, who's this blonde chick? What's she talking about? But it's phase conjugate wave pairs. But and people go, well, how did you do something nobody's been able? I'm the one who does the double blonde studies. Double blinders didn't make any logical sense to me. You know, logic was one of the things they harped on me with Mensa besides speed reading. And this is some of the entrainment of Mensa was how I learned speed reading was it is photo reading. And this has that aspect. It's designed to trigger your brain for that kind of accessing of information. Yeah, we want to trigger genius. I mean, one of my worst days in school was when I was told I was above 99th percentile on both the ACT and the SAT, and I had tested top in the state in Latin, English, and math. I go, oh shit, now I'm really in trouble. If less than 1% of people on the planet if I'm in less than 1% of people on the planet, we're really in trouble. What are we going to do with this planet? This is not going to work. How do we trigger other people? How do we trigger everybody's genius? Because everybody has their own genius. We need to activate that light within each and every being to live your greatest light, to live your brilliance, to live your greatest love. No more excuses. You know, the dumbing down of Americans has been very sad. I mean, that was the scariest thing of COVID. Wasn't it? The dumbing down. It's like, wait a minute, there's no logic. I didn't appreciate logic, you know, from growing up with Mensa and all the Mensa brain training that I did. Oh, it's so logical. That's so damn boring. Logic, it's just logical. I did not have appreciation of that logic training really until we hit COVID. And I'm going, there was no logic to any of that whatsoever. So we lost 3 senses during COVID: sense of smell, sense of taste, common sense. Oops. But it's been a journey. But the double blonde studies, we're talking about phase conjugate wave pairs, right? So I like to talk about the science can be sexy. Phase conjugate wave pairs. What's a conjugal relationship? Anybody know what a conjugal relationship is? Pairing. Male and female coming together. Phase conjugate, phase conjugation. But anyway, that coming together. How about God, Goddess coming together within you and radiating infinite love? Conjugal relationship is marriage, but it's really about that alchemical divine sacred marriage of God, Goddess within you. That divine union, that balance of masculine and feminine energies, and that coming together, that implosion and a release of charge. Kind of like an orgasm. Okay. Yeah. In my trainings, they'd hear me talk about that. This literally works to activate the light at the core of your DNA. I don't have the benefits of showing you my visuals because I do show exactly what that looks like. You have my stuff, right? Yeah, I mean with the photonic release, and you can see that, you know, with some of the aura cameras and things like that, what that looks like, and that activation of the light within you. And that's really how it works. But there's so many things we can talk about, different levels of the medical aspects or the cellular mechanisms of action. Basically, power that made the body heals the body. How do you plug your body back into the cosmic light socket? Universal unlimited power on. What if you can recharge every cell of your body as quickly and easily as you recharge your cell phone? And when your body has the right energy, there isn't anything that doesn't want to heal. Simple, right? The body wants to heal and function perfectly. How many of you spend time each day giving every part of yourself permission and thanking it for functioning more and more perfectly and optimally all the time? This is like holding that space for that. You have new appreciations. How important is function?
Really important.
Yeah.
When I listen to your meditation, that's what I was going to say. That's when I check in with myself.
Yeah, okay. So you do use the healing meditation in here?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give everybody headphones and a little iPod.
Yeah, ideal, optimal. That healing meditation is on YouTube. If anybody wants it, it's free. But it's a meditation we use for healing anything and everything. We've seen anything and everything heal. God's calling somebody. But yeah, on YouTube, if you put in Sandra Michael healing meditation, it'll pull it up and put it on. The idea is you put it on. It's not yours.
It sounds like it's going through the speaker.
That's weird. That's weird. I turned off my phone. I did. Okay.
We've heard of musical chairs, right?
We get music today. Okay. That's special.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
Anyway.
Maybe it's in the pillows or something.
Maybe turn off the speaker and see if it goes away.
I hear it in the speaker.
That's funny. It doesn't sound like it's coming from the speaker, though.
Is it in the bag over there? What's in the bag?
Is it in your bag?
No, I turned off my. Little music.
Everybody
It's persistent.
Yeah, seriously. It's an alarm.
Okay.
Sorry.
Found. The mystery is solved. That's funny. Okay. So anyway, this meditation, this little meditation, I had a center in Dallas, Texas called the Heart Center 40 years ago, actually. And there was a cassette that went all over the world, this healing meditation. And we get reports back from all over the world of people healing anything and everything with that meditation. So that got remastered with a scalar pulse and put out. If something ain't broke, don't fix it when it works that well, right? So that's out there. And the idea is you put it on as you're going to bed, because the easiest way to process is in your sleep. The body heals in delta and theta brain states. I was also considered a master hypnotherapist. I was the first person to ever do past life regression live on network television. That's 39 years ago. So this creates also, it's working with your ideal optimal brain states for total remembrance, whether it's your past lives or just anything and everything there is for you to know, the knowing of which that can allow all things to totally heal and clear as issues in your body, your life, your relationships, and for the whole world. Is that okay? Okay. So just know this is about using the energy to turn up the volume on your own inner knowing. So use the energy to carry you deeper into your own inner knowing than you've ever gone before. To know anything and everything God wants you to know. And the clearer your questions, the clearer your answers. Ask and you shall receive. It is a divine cosmic law. Everybody's heard that one, right? I'm also in the bloodline of Martin Luther. So I read that Bible 6 times cover to cover by the time I was 12. By the time I was 12, I had every version of the Bible trying to figure out how they translated what into what, when, where, why. Because I wanted the real stories. So, and the real memories. But this is what this technology is designed to trigger and to share. You know, it's to give you the energy to know whatever God wants you to know. That allows you to heal. You know, every part of yourself. You got to start with the part of God under your nose.
Where did you say the YouTube we could find it?
YouTube. Sandra Michael.
Yeah.
Sandra Michael Healing Meditation. So I think maybe some of them say Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. It's out there 2-3 different ways, because we had it in an audio file and people got tired of trying to send the files, so people started putting it putting it on YouTube. Great. Share it any which way you can. It works. Ho'oponopono, it has forgiveness affirmations, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, all that kind of good stuff.
Is there a CD of it so you don't have to have your electrical things on at night?
You could download it. I mean, yeah, we did put it out on CDs, but I don't know, maybe you can get somebody to put it on a CD for you. We don't do that anymore. But bottom line is we are powerful, infinite, unlimited beings, Christed beings. Christ said anything and everything he did and more were to do. Time to, let's get her done. I'm here for that promise of a new heaven, new earth. What about you? Everybody else sign up for that one? We want our planet back now?
Yeah.
Back from the Luciferic agendas?
Yes.
Okay, we're on the same same page? Yeah. Yeah, I was telling her, I joke about it. You know, when you're a visionary and you know, and when you know, and you know the future, you know, the future is very bright. I know the future of this planet. The great mystery is, how do we get there from here? I know where we're going, but the great mystery, how the flip do we get? But that's what we're here for. But I was telling her, I was joking on the way over, right? And I was telling you, I'm like the kid in the back seat of God going, are we there yet? Are we there yet? I've been teaching this shift every single life. If I were better, we'd be there already. That's my version of beating myself up, okay? Could be, should be, would be if I'd done it better somehow. But we brought technology that, you know, I'm a Virgo, so it's like, how effective, how efficient, how well does it work? We need things to really, really, really work, right? Everybody talks about a lot of stuff, but how do you do it? This is applied integrated biophysics. And it is pure science, it is pure physics, but it's also the pure metaphysics. It's the spiritual science, you know? Because there is a spiritual science. And if we're the most intelligent life in the multiverse, then we're really in trouble. So I had to listen to some other beings. Yeah. And that's why I said, use this yourself to turn up the volume, to go to those ideal, optimal brain states, to know whatever God wants you to know, and to activate all the love within yourself. It's like breathing, literally in here, you're breathing light, your photons, you're breathing quantum light, you're breathing photons through every cell and every part of you. And your spinal column is meant to be that standing column of light. So it's like you're being aligned by the light, with the light, as the light, and highest powers of love here on earth as is in heaven through us now. And you're breathing that light. And how much love are you willing to feel? The more love, the more light you allow yourself to experience, to have, to know. You can't share something you haven't let yourself have. More love you allow yourself to experience, to have, to know, to be, the more it allows for everybody. So why would you ever deny anybody that, especially yourself? So it's about breathing all God's love through every cell and every part of yourself. Then you have something to share. Everybody got your homework now? Can you love yourself as much as God loves you?
Yes.
Verily, verily, I say to you, why not? You have dumb excuses? No excuses, right? Yeah, and instead of just sitting on our access, it's time to access the power and allow that power to rise up from your seat of power. Now that Kundalini to rise up through that spinal column to be that standing column of light, that brilliant pillar in the temple of God. Because when we stand together in our power, in our light, and in our love, shift happens. And we're pillars in the temple of God. And when we come together, phase conjugate wave pairs coming together. When we come together, we have to be the greater community. The great awakening cannot, will not be stopped. So that's what we're really here for. And to walk the planet as the fully realized God, goddess beings in full realization, reality of who we are, total remembrance of who we are, all that we're here for, all that we have access to. If you have access to unlimited power, infinite intelligence, unconditional love, everybody's heard that. If you have access to unlimited power, infinite intelligence, unconditional love, what's the problem? Right? I quit just sitting on your access. Allow that power to rise up. Your seat of power, you know, when the body develops. Part of what's in here is Fibonacci sequences because this activates and mobilizes the body's stem cells. Well, that comes, you know, through the sacrum. The sacrum means sacred, but that's where things begin the development in that Fibonacci sequence. But that's part of what we incorporated that from. So that's your seed or seat of power. And scalar light is when the sperm and ovum come together. There's this release of spark of light. That's your spark of life. It's your light. That's your scalar light. That's your quantum of light. Is this cool though? You understand the microcosm versus the macrocosm? That your bodies and beings of light. And let's, you know, you're here. Why not live your greatest light and your greatest life? No more excuses. Are you going to do what Christ's teachings were or not? You will be tested. You got to get off your yeah buts. No excuses. You got to get off the yeah buts. Let's live your greatest life. You know, you're breathing light, you're breathing love. There's always room for more light, more love somewhere. If you feel the need for more light, more love somewhere on the planet, breathe it, go for the expansion. The more you allow yourself to have, to know, to be, the more it allows for everybody. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, to know how much power, light, and love it's okay that you allow to flow to you and through you more and more freely all the time. Now it's only a breath away ever. This technology was sent for this time. Do you understand now how fulfillment of the prophecy of aloha A time of crisis on the planet, it's aloha that heals the world. Each and every one of these centers is like earth acupuncture. And each and every one of you right now, it's like you're getting whole body laser light acupuncture, every meridian simultaneously. From each and every one of the centers, it goes out a minimum of 2.2 miles every direction, creating a null zone, a nullification of detrimental fields. And each and every one of the centers expands the fields exponentially. I asked God, how do we bring healing to the whole world? I got a really long answer. A really long, crazy answer. You know, when you ask a good question, the clearer the question, the clearer the answer. I asked him really, okay, God, how do we bring healing to the whole world? Okay, God, now what? How do we create the next quantum leap of consciousness on this planet where we can bypass some of those projected realities? Because I looked out and saw the probable projected timelines. Maybe some of you have heard of timeline stuff. Probable projected timelines. When you can see the future, you can see the probable projected timelines. I said, excuse me, I don't like that one. What do we do? Because you're not ever shown anything you don't have the power to change. Think about that.
Say that one more time.
You're not ever shown anything you don't have the power to change. Of course, I like to talk about shift or get off the planet. You're in very, very deep shift tonight. Sorry. Somebody should have warned you. Yeah. But yeah, deep shift. The shift has hit the fan of accelerated evolution for the planet. So shift is hitting the fan. In case you hadn't noticed. Time of crisis on the planet, you think we're there? Yeah. And so there are people that have I've had so many attempts and threats on my life. Obviously, I'm a bit of a target. Just a bit. And so many people have tried to steal our technology, hijack the project, etc. So everybody take a deep breath. We're still here. We're all here. How cool is that? Shift is happening. The Great Awakening will not be stopped. We've waited a long time for this time on the planet. We're in the time of the turning of the ages, the great 26,000-year cycle of the precession of the equinoxes. My friend Daniel Brinkley was on with some of our center owners this morning, and they were talking about the Mayan calendar and all that good stuff. We're in this great turning of the ages. According to the Vedic traditions, I think I told you I studied Ayurveda. I studied Sanskrit for 8 years because the best books on physics are the Vedas. That's your very best books on physics. And I was very blessed to study with a true Vedic scholar. And, but anyway, so in the Vedic time, we have officially moved, according to the Vedic astrologers, we have officially gone from Kali Yuga into the Golden Age, into Satya Yuga. How exciting is that? You know, so things could look like, there's got to be a destructuring to be a restructuring. And a lot of things imploding, right? So it's time to focus on what we want, not what we don't want. And that's one of the real keys of being in here, is to focus on what you want, not what you don't want. At a personal level, well, I'll give you an example. I had somebody using the technology for their son. They put it in their home. And they had put it in because they wanted to bring healing to their family, but the son was wetting the bed. He was like 4 or 5 years old, whatever it was. And they go, how come it's not working? I said, what intention are you putting out? And they had written an intention to put in their system for their son to quit wetting the bed. Now, what intention is being broadcast? Wetting the bed. So he got better at it. Not a problem. Thoughts create. Well, words create even more thoughts and creations. So I said, how about you write, my son wakes up dry and happy. Every day he's happier. What do you think worked? So same kind of thing. You don't want to come in going, oh, I'm going to fight cancer. Body hears cancer, goes, oh, I can keep doing that. There's a lot of things that are carcinogenic. Body can keep doing cancer. Right? No, instead, focus on thanking your body. He who is grateful in all things shall be made glorious. So thank your body. Thank every cell, thank every organ for functioning so efficiently. Thank every part of you, for being better and better all the time. Everything wants to function perfectly. These bodies are, an incredible, infinite, innate intelligence these bodies have. Have you noticed how cool these bodies really are? It's an amazing design. This was designed to help bring the body back to its original divine design, to bring the DNA, the hijacking of our DNA. You saw that with COVID. Everything designed to try to hijack our DNA, and that goes back to Atlantis, the hijacking of the DNA. Well, I was told this had to, if you look at this, you'll see it looks like 12 strands of DNA on the screen, because it's designed to bring all the latent DNA back to its original design, bring the DNA back to its original divine design, the original matrix, the original divine design of these bodies. Is that okay? You give your body permission to do that? Well, what the heck? Might as well. DNA's our God code. That's why they've been trying to hijack it. It's our God code. Yeah, 12 strands of DNA. Okay. I probably talked enough, right? Enough crazy talk. No, there's so much we could talk about, and normally I have a PowerPoint and I go through. Yeah, but if you want to find PowerPoints, we have a number of them online. Put my name in YouTube, all kinds of. I think they said they found 670 some independent of each other, different videos of me out there. So they've got artificial intelligence studying all my videos to be able to answer things as I would answer. Isn't that interesting? Huh? To be able to answer questions and things, yeah. But this is the next best thing to me on the planet, because there's only so many people I could personally teach, touch, train. I say, okay, God, now how do we bring healing to the world? And so this is all over the world. Initially, it was all primarily in private homes, all over the world. Initially, it had to go out that way so it couldn't be stopped. Right. And then I was always told when it goes out, it has to be everywhere fast. So we had about 30 centers when our viral video went out. Maybe some of you saw that. It got pushed out viral. And then, there was a call to action on it to open up centers all over the world.
How long ago was that?
That was May 27th of 22. And there's now more than 500 centers in 60-some countries. But even before that, it was in for the Sultan of Abu Dhabi, it was in for Tony Robbins. By the way, Tony Robbins has 24 around his bed. He has 24 in his office. He has 16 in his healing room. Sultan of Abu Dhabi, they have, So it was in private homes all over the world. It's also been with Dr. Terry Shintani, like I mentioned him earlier. Dr. Terry Shintani has worked with our technology almost 20 years. And I brought you, what I brought you is did you look at what I brought you yet? No. I brought you a newspaper write-up of the story of the peer-reviewed published study finally released. And that's with Dr. Shintani, University of Hawaii Med School. How many of you are aware of that? A couple of you, okay. But this is cool. Now you can put that on the wall, you frame it and you put it on the wall, and any doctors or medical professionals that come in, you point to it and go, peer-reviewed published study, Journal of Neurology Research. The study that was done there, that got published, was a little girl, just under 4 years old, 3.5 years old. She was having 8 to 10 grand mal seizures a day, clear case of vaccine damage after a well baby check at 18 months or what. Clear case of vaccine damage, having 8 to 10 grand mal seizures every single day. Can you imagine what that would be like as a mother? Just a nightmare, you know. Yeah, and they had tried everything. They had done all the dietary, they'd done everything allopathically, homeopathically, naturopathically. They'd done all the dietary stuff. They'd done chelation. They had even bought their own hyperbaric chamber. She was still having 8 to 10 grand mal seizures a day. She came in the first time, you know, and Dr. Terry Shintani, MD, JD, everybody know what that is? Jurisdictional doctorate, lawyer. MD, JD, and MPH. So his lawyer side's, oh my God, what could happen? Is it safe to put a child in there that's having seizures? Absolutely. Okay, so after the first, only wanted to put her in for 1 hour because God better see what happens first. You know, let's put her in the first hour. And there was some mitigation. But maybe it was their imagination. You know, they had all the seizure logs, but there was some. And after the second time, it was a little bit more. She had her first seizure-free day after her third 1 hour session. Now, a little girl, less than 4 years old, cannot fake not having grand mal seizures. So that's how it could be published in the Journal of Neurology Research. Now, this was a clear case of vaccine damage in autism. If they used either of those words, it would have never been published. Think about it. It was published as mitigation of seizure disorder. Yeah. So do we need this information for our autistic kids? For the vaccine, all the vaccine damage? One of the things I was shown decades ago was exactly what was going to be created. They'd call it a flu, but it was all engineered and manufactured, and the vaccine for it. No. And I was always told that that was close to the end of their time.
COVID, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so a lot of times I go, well, you know, are we there yet? Are we there yet? But we hadn't seen that yet, so I knew we weren't quite. Now we've got it. So as we were always told that, and this technology is designed for this time. How do we put the DNA back to its original design? How do we detox all the stuff? You know, bodies of light don't care about radiation and things. As we radiate light, this is the real principle of how this works. As we radiate light, nothing that is not of our light can affect us. How empowering is that? Fear and God cannot share the same space. Worry is prayer in reverse. Whatever you focus on expands. Everybody knows that's a principle of Huna, right? So every thought creates. So now, every time you find yourself creating something a little less than ideal, take a deep breath. And remember this phrase. That's not the truth of my being. Do you remember this from my teachings? You were just a boy, but.
Well, the mom did it after too. You know, as soon as we left too, she kept receiving and reciting as well. And then the food testing of frequency, grab this, is this good for your body?
Oh yeah, we will share muscle testing. That's one of the things I share with, especially good for kids, muscle testing. Anything and everything is either going to make you stronger and strengthen you in who you are, all that you're here for, or not. Right? Things are either in alignment with your true best and highest interest or not. So I teach parents how to do muscle testing with their kids. You know, my kids would bring me stuff. Well, let's ask your body how that is for it. and now find something that makes you strong, that you like even better, that makes you even stronger. You know, because, you know, why put in something, anything's either giving you energy or it's taking your energy. And if it's taking your energy, things are either supporting you in your greatest light force, life force, greatest life and love, or not. If it's not supporting you, it's taking your energy, it sucks. That's the physics. So, you know, if you love yourself, you're not going to put anything in that doesn't support your light force, right? So quit paying to poison yourself, because that's what they got everybody programmed to do. And then they put poisons in anything and everything imaginable and unimaginable. So quit paying to poison yourselves. Every dollar's a vote. What are you voting for? Think about it. What are you voting for? Every dollar's a vote. What are you choosing for this planet? Are you supporting the people, the beings that are trying to support healing for a planet? Or are you paying the bastards that have been trying to kill us? You know, and think about that. Every dollar is a vote. Quit buying barcode foods. GMO'd foods, all this other, you know, all the cleaners, all these different things are carcinogenic. They're disease causing. There's healthier ways to do anything and everything. So it's about being more conscious and making more conscious, more intelligent, more informed choices. That's what empowerment really is. Making more intelligent, more informed, conscious choices. And then what do you choose to create? What do you choose to support? How do you choose to be supported? What's really important? What really creates value? What's valuable to you really? You only get one body this life. Why don't people get that this is your number one investment? If you don't have your health, what do you have? What are you going to do? You know? If you don't pay for your wellness, you're going to pay for your disease. But quit paying them to poison you. Everybody got this? It's like, duh. You know, because it's been addiction to abuse, the programming. Programming of what food looked like. McDonald's? Really? Everybody, oh, but it was easier. I think nuts are faster. You know, for fast food. Eating an apple, a banana, I mean, an avocado. Avocado is a perfect food. You can live on the avocados here on this island. I've known people that literally just lived on avocados. It's a perfect food. Your coconuts, healing. Ginger, your Elena, there's so many. Your purple sweet potatoes. You know, the Okinawan sweet potatoes. You know, those are a cure. That anthocyanin, those are actually a cure for diabetes and cancer. Did you know that? How cool is that? Taro is the most nutritious plant on the planet. It's from the Pleiades. And sacred, poi, is a live food. It's cultured. Now taro chips are pretty yummy, but cook them in coconut oil, maybe. But you don't want them cooked in that canola oil. Con-ola. Rapeseed. And that's what it does to the body. You know, the bad oils are one of the biggest causes of disease. That's coming out more and more. Does everybody like Make America Healthy Again? Everybody, we supported Bobby Kennedy's campaign. He has a cube, by the way. He has an EE cube. Yeah. Let's make the whole world healthy again.